Alright, looks like we're live. Hi guys, we're back at it again this week. Gonna be trying to do some more runs. Hopefully I'll finally get those dragonfly ones down. The wrong warps, because they're always what's giving me trouble. I really should practice those in like isolation, but I just don't have the willpower to do that. I just want to do it in runs. So we're just doing standard any percent power runs today. Tomorrow we'll be doing another challenge run, as always. I'm kind of wanting to theory craft that while we go through our runs, just because it's gonna be an interesting one to attempt. So I'm just gonna jump into this first run, and then I'll start talking about that. That's what I'm kind of on my mind at the minute. It'll give us something to talk about during this long intro sequence. So for those of you not aware, tomorrow's challenge run is magic only. So it's where I'm only allowed to use magic abilities of the minions, no special attacks. And the reason why it's so interesting is because magic minions are very defensively weak, which could easily give us a lot of trouble. So I've been trying to work out what route will give us the best odds of winning. There's definitely going to be some RNG reliance on it. Because our best bets for minions is probably Patimal again. We've done a Patimal run, but we used physical attacks. Or to use Ashes / Shulias. Obvious risk with using Shulias or Ashes is that they have the worst defense in the game. Except maybe Sharik might have worse, I'm not sure. They like base 20 defense, it's terrible. Good speed though. But they have the highest magic damage output in the game as well. So I've been trying to work out which minions we need to capture and when to do that kind of run.
It seems his puppy was stolen by a Nagi woman, and he ran off. His son is still so young. Too young to become a Cocoon master. Run away, will you?
The problem we also encounter is that in the Moth Forest you have a limited number of captures, so we can't just hoard loads of extra minions in case we need more Ashes or Shulias later. Because we'll have 12 capture attempts, but if any of them fail, we lose a minion. We can't go back to get more at that point in the game, and that could be an issue for us. I'm also very curious if it's possible to one-shot the fire boss with an Asher. Because they have arena advantage in terms of against fire boss, Ashes being fire as well. So they have the elemental enhancement from the arena. They have the 10% magic damage buff that they get for being Ashes. I believe it's Ashes that get it. Surely it's I think it's Ashes. Either way, you could capture a Shuri and turn it into an Asher, basically, if that was the problem. And the elemental bosses, the actual bosses themselves, not their minions, take much more damage from magic attacks. They have very little elemental magic resistance. It's much lower than their physical defense. But on the other hand, the attack stat grows faster in this game than the magic stat. So I don't know if it would be possible. It might be. It might be that you'd need to merge a bunch of Ashes into the same Asher to get the magic attack necessary. But I'm curious if it's possible. I know it's possible to kill the Earth boss before he uses a minion. Like, it's absolutely possible to one-shot him. You have to be pretty lucky. You have to get a critical hit to do it. Realistically, with an Earth minion, with like Earth attack plus power and 8 critical hits, that can quite easily take him out. But magic spells can't critical hit. So I'm kind of wondering, because what you're going to want to take down Kashidra is probably an Amasag, but you'll want Shulias for Delphinel, you will be relying on luck that they don't use physical attacks that hit. Like you need the magic attacks to come out if you're using Amethys and Shilias. They have good speed, which gives them good chance of block. But their low health pool means if they get hit by a physical attack, take the Kashidra fight for example. If it's air elemental boost and your Shilia is hit by a physical air attack from Kashidra, the Shilia probably dies, even though it doesn't have elemental disadvantage just because it has no defense whatsoever. Kashidra, however, and Kashidra, Tuturus, Delphinel, they all have equal physical and magic defense in terms of base stats. So I'm really not sure what the optimal route to go is, because you could just stick with like a Primal or a Heralco, something like that, which is a bit beefier, which can take a few more hits, but then you don't have the same damage output, and you're still going to need to merge on a minion later on to get the stronger attack, the stronger magic attacks, and those always come at the cost of health. When you buff magic, it always comes at the cost of health. It's very good in like the Eternal Corridor to use magic, because then it's the only way to have an elemental attack that hits all enemies. And if you have very high magic output on your minions at that point, or very high speed because you've based it on an Amasag or an Asher, it can be a very, very strong minion very easily. It's one of the most trivial types of minion to make for the Eternal Corridor that can just carry you infinitely. And by infinite, I mean like you'll get through all the cycles of the Eternal Corridor until you're fighting level 26 minions, and 3 at a time, pretty easily by just grabbing an Asher, giving it Agnes, the plural base magic, which hits all enemies, and then just merging loads more Ashers into it. Probably not the most optimal minion, but it certainly gets the job done. Of course, you can't beat Klargus with it. That's the one issue. You have to use a physical minion, or a minion with... Well, to be fair, instant death, if you want to do strictly magic, instant death can kill Klargus. Like, you wouldn't use this elemental minion in isolation. You could just have like a Shilia of 3 elements, all doing that, and then with their relative status ailments in order to take down Klargus specifically. Probably Flesh to Stone or Instant Death are your bets for taking down Klargus, really, if you aren't using a physical attack minion. But I digress, that's not really relevant to can you beat the game using just magic attacks. But I think my current plan... Well, actually, it depends on whether or not I'm going to permit myself to use seals. The seal items are magic, but I tend to disallow them during the challenge runs because it allows you to skip Kikinak, and it means you don't have to do any fights this way. You just go straight to the Shilia or Asher to go straight to level 10, which cuts off a lot of playtime. I may do it for a magic only run just because it is magic to use seals. Obvious downside, and not downside, alternative is you could do the opposite, do every boss with magic attacks only, which would be horrific. Not something I'd want to do, really. I'm just waiting to like get all the way to the end, get to capturing Arpatron and find out that my arrow keys are disabled. Got to make a tradition out of it, it's the proper thing to do. Yeah, I think you'd want to keep at least some Shilias to take down Delphinel. And Amasag is probably your best bet, because the Asher would be good, but it's better to have a Wind and Water minion than a wind and fire, or a fire and earth is technically better as well than a fire and air. The only reason you end up normally with water and wind is because, you know, you get Arbitron for free, Marrdreg's really good, and you have to take down Delphinel and Tuturus, a fire and earth boss, respectively. So those are the right elements for that. But if they were different elements, you'd capture different minions in the 80%. But yeah, it may be like the only run where we end up with minions that we don't actually want to continue using. I suppose you could turn that Shilia, or sorry, the Asher from the Tuturus fight into an Amasag. The thing that really concerns me for that is Tuturus, because there are no water minions that are particularly good for it in the Dark Beetle Forest. You do, of course, have the water swabs, which of course do have water magic attack, but they are very slow, don't have much health. They have good physical defense, which is nothing to scoff at when you're playing magic only, but they're not very reliable for taking down Tuturus. I do think you can do it with them. I absolutely do. But it will take so much time, I think, to grind them to be strong enough. Or it'll just be a pain. If I could do it with a... And I am curious to just see if you can do it by just one-shotting him with an Asher. Possibly an over-leveled Asher to do it, but I'm really curious to see if you can do it. It'd be kind of cool if we could one-shot the bosses in the 80% run, but it takes too long and is too luck-based to set up a minion to do it. Unfortunately. Otherwise I would, because that'd be so funny. Yeah, in theory, the way you do it with the fire boss would be much the same. You to use fire, physical attack plus power, get a critical hit on the fire boss before he gets a turn, and then that should, in theory, one-shot him, provided you're high enough level and you got enough attack power. But I don't think you can. You don't really have any good minions to try that with. The minion to try it with in the dark spider forest is either a Turgrip if you're lazy, or a spiral that's been modified to be like a Turgrip. So you've just merged it with a bunch of Turgrips, and then and the earth Tauren things that you get, which have Deva Udvi, those guys, because they have earth attack plus power, which is what you want. Then you land the crit, you dive. I don't know if you need to be like level 20 as well. I don't know. It's not the most trivial thing to do, but I have done it, so I know it's possible. But that was in a casual playthrough. I was just seeing if I could do it because I thought it'd be funny to. You do also miss out on experience for doing it, of course, because you only killed one thing instead of two. Okay, my arrow keys are working. Yeah, I've got that challenge run on my mind since. Normally I've like spent a few hours working it out well in advance, but I haven't for this one because I'm not really sure. I'm not too familiar with using the magic minions, so I'm not too sure about what the correct route is. I'd like to avoid needing to capture a bunch of Ashers and then merging them with the water swabs, if possible. should probably actually focus on this run because we're done with the intro section now. But Lord knows I'm not good at the whole focusing thing. Alright, switch element. Nice. A decent first dodge. I didn't realize it would be quite so far out already. I've never successfully dodged both. I think I need to approach that screen more from the left than what I'm doing. And then that'll give me a bit more time to dodge. This is, of course, still the warm-up run. I think we're off to a good start, though. Yeah, we are. Nice. Dodge the Potimal first run at the wall for the for the wrong warp. And now we get to throw it all away in the dragonfly forest. It'd be really nice if I could get it down so that I can just... If I could do that in the dragonfly forest for both wrong warps, that would be so incredibly satisfying. But I would be very surprised. Should probably sell the Valerian powder first, really. That would be the logical thing to do, wouldn't it? Keep my my inventory neat. Got a few other things I do need to do today, so we'll hopefully get 3 complete runs in. We still haven't managed it because we've had runs die. Every time I stream I get 2 done. I say every time. Haven't really done that many yet. Alright. Because we got that first try, this should be Marrdreg. And now we get to have an aneurysm. We'll never go for the fast Marrdreg strat, and by strat I mean praying. Until we're good enough for all the other on warps that I can say with a reasonable level of consistency that I won't miss any. And then this Marrdreg will be the actual main time save that's available to us in terms of size of time save. Rather than get good at wrong warp and you'll do better. Still do one more hit, I think. I don't like it, the fact that it's gone down to 15, that's a bit concerning for us. Going down to 15 means that when we hit it again, it's likely to be 7 or 8. And on 7 or 8, if we attack it, it can die. Yeah. So if I attack this again now, there's a pretty good chance that it just dies instead of going to 1 HP. So we have to start trying to capture it. Please behave. Get in the goddamn cocoon. Okay, what is this? What's happening? What's going on? Well, this run's gonna die somewhere. It's gonna die a horrible death somewhere. It must do. My RNG is never this nice to me. Is that Haralko or a Marrdreg? Marrdreg. Ooh, nice. I find that that dodge a little bit difficult when I don't know it's a Marrdreg in advance. Because you have to like pause a little bit to dodge the Marrdreg, and you need to go straight away to dodge the Haralko. There we go. Let's go past this tortoise. That's too hard. Some extra work to compensate for the fact that we missed the sleep spores. Now it looks like we might be back online. So we hit the wrong warp, but then we missed the sleep spores in our eagerness. So that's going to mess with our moth forest. Not the end of the world, but it's not good either. Take the long way around the Pat Baron, and then we may have to flee from the other one. Is how I think that's going to have to go down. You only use the sleep spores to make that bit slightly faster. Since we don't have the sleep spores because of that, whatever, we'll just have to take that. Alright, can we get this? If we got that first try, that would have been sick, wouldn't it? Alright. No, too far out. Oh, it was right, okay. Gotta stop second guessing myself, and I won't have this problem. Weirdly, this is now the slowest wrong warp we have this run. Should be good. Hoping the facing angle's not too bad. That's the thing that messes me up. There we go. I just don't get hit by the snakes. Remember to pick up this key. Very important that we pick up that key. Just don't want any egregious mistakes. Over here, tree. Thank you. That's probably a bit further than need to. I'm told that it's about 4 steps that you need it to take. Dodging this tree is easy. I think it's easier on the power. Well, when you're using analog stick, I think that dodge is easier. So what we need to do here is remember to equip our minions. If we forget, we lose the run. And that's not a thing that we've managed to forget at this point. But it would be pretty bad if we did suddenly forget it. I don't know how nice YouTube is about streams when your connection goes down halfway through. I'm really hoping that it didn't just throw it all away and like stop the broadcast. That would kind of suck. Right, here we go. Heal ourselves. Oh god. What is that menu? Oh, I pressed X too soon. That's so funny. Pressure of having a run that doesn't die to me messing up wrong walks. Suddenly I can't menu again. It was only a couple seconds time lost, but it feels funny. Yeah, so we're gonna have about, well, cutscenes are long. So we'll be in Moth Forest at about 30 minutes, 31 minutes in. Like 30 something is what I would say. Depending on the speed of cutscene. I haven't exactly measured this time. But I think already we have, well, I say already, as long as it stays like this, we have a couple minutes on our PB currently. If everything went exactly the same from this point on, then I think we'd beat PB by a couple minutes. Oh. Throw away an extra few seconds, why not? Because I ran in the wrong direction. Because this is the only time when you enter Gry's house. You enter on the other side. Granted, it's the only time we go in Gry's house, so like, if I wasn't doing casual playthroughs ever, I wouldn't have that muscle memory. That incorrect muscle memory. Yeah, so I think it'll be less than a minute from here that we get into the Moth Forest. But cutscenes are long, so. Come on, talk to me. That's why we must stay in the cocoon. Give me the Roquette's garb. Which we must remember to equip. And the snakes were red, which we appreciate. We wanted red snakes. Alright, that kicks us out again, get to the bottom of the menu. No, we may make it into Moth Forest at exactly 31 minutes. Okay, it was slightly slower than I wanted to be there. But we're doing alright, we're doing alright. This is a solid first run. Right. Equip Roquette's garb. Now all we need is a good Marrdreg. And I need to remember that I have to do a bit of a different strat to get around the Pat Barons. To account for the fact that we don't have sleep spores. They're both definitely dodgeable, but I don't. It's been many a year since I've tried to dodge the second Pat Baron. First one's easy, you just go around the other way. Second one, not so sure. That's Levant beaten and bruised. Now Marrdreg can get its kill. I think we'd be wise to heal Levant before the fight with Poacher. But the question becomes, do I heal before or after the Pat Baron fight? Since we're likely to now have that encounter, since I'm not practiced with the dodge. I think we heal a little bit in advance. We use a regular mugwort. We're gonna get a bitter one here, and then hopefully missing those sleep spores is not the difference here. That's all I can say. Hopefully that isn't the difference. So we go into this page, room, go around the Pat Baron like this. We go up to this one, which I'm not going to be able to dodge. I think if you go up the left-hand side, you may be able to get it. Like if you go straight up the left-hand side, but I think I was too far. Okay, nice. Thank you, game. Okay, we aren't punished for our folly of missing those sleep spores. If I can get that Pat Baron dodge down, it may actually save time to not use the sleep spores. It's a bit risky because I'm relying on my ability to dodge the Pat Baron, but if I can get the Pat Baron dodges down, that might actually be worthwhile. I'd need to. Ooh. I would need to try out a few. I'd have to save state that. I'd rather stick to regular route for now. Right, we'll use our other mugwort to heal ourselves. Use bitter if need be. During the fight, I'm not too worried about money. We're going to pick up the safety keys. Right. Get him, Marrdreg. Hopefully we've got a good Marrdreg and it takes this Gigo down very swiftly. That's what I'd like to see. I think it is. I think it actually is a good Marrdreg. It might miss, to be fair, but I think it's a good Marrdreg. It is. What is this? Oh, I'm gonna feel bad when it all falls apart. Oh, that's gonna feel bad because I'm not gonna have this kind of. I'm not gonna get this kind of luck again, I don't think. Well, luck. I'm not going to have as clean of a run up to this point. Though it hasn't been that. It's not exactly been perfectly clean by any stretch of the imagination. Right, we're gonna have to switch to the one. We're gonna have to pay attention to that health bar. One thing I'm a bit concerned about is because we have a stronger Marrdreg, depending on our damage rolls on Levant here, I don't know if Poacher survives 3 hits. I do know that they do when it's a bad Marrdreg. Right. Okay, cool. Does still survive 3, that's very good to know. Arbitron can survive missing once here. Arbitron can take a hit from the Poacher without dying. Okay, this is going really quite well so far. Oh, we got the Great Walnut as well. We're making our way. Hopefully that Asher hasn't respawned. That's the other main obstacle that we can face. Oh, it did. If I waited a bit longer, I'd have had more time to run. Okay. I think Arbitron can take this thing down if we absolutely needed to. Okay, cool. Levant would survive one of its magic attacks, but not two. So I'd have had to have made the decision there of whether or not I wanted to try and run again. Which saves time if it succeeds, but we lose a lot of time if it fails. Or do I switch into Arbitron, get the guaranteed kill on the Asher? So we don't risk time loss. Straight line, straight line. Nice. We will get the safety key. I do like having a little bit of safety on my run. Good luck stresses me out. That's one thing. Or doing well in the first half of the game, because this first half has gone swimmingly. This has been really good. Aside from the sleep spores, forcing that one extra fight, but now I have to bring it home. There are two more wrong warps I must successfully execute. And then my hands are in, well, sorry, my life is in the hands of RNG gods for the escapes against the gyrals or spirals. And we just have to hope that they're merciful to us. Please, good Deterrus fight. And please, nice Kashidra. Like, there's a lot we have to... There's way more encounters in the second half that you can't avoid. And we just need none of them to bite us. If none of the encounters screw us, and then the only thing that can really mess us up is me failing a wrong warp. I mean, it's a given with any run. Either you're going to mess you up, or the RNG is going to mess you up, and that's the only two ways about it anyway. But I haven't had good Deterrus luck. I haven't had Kashidra heal on me in the final fight, so we may see that. We may have good luck all the way up to the end, then we have a long Kashidra, or worse, like a Kashidra that blocks everything, and we just have to accept that that's what's happened. We have about 30 minutes of this run left, if we 13 a bit, if all goes well. Walk a bit faster, Levant, please. You're giving me anxiety. That's why speedrunning's a little bit addictive, because you get such an adrenaline rush when you're on a good run. As long as you care about it, I mean, obviously, if you're just speedrunning and you're completely relaxed about it, then maybe not. But when you're on a good run, you feel the adrenaline course through your veins. I'll check on the stream health properly after this run is over. I don't really want to about to look at other things or change focus off from the game mid-run. So we'll check health for the stream afterwards. Hopefully it's still up, but it might not be for all I know. Okay. Shop time. What's about supplies? Sell everything. Get the weapons first. Sell the weapons. Little bird. Yes, yes. Oh, that sparrow's rough. Yes. Sell. Golf crown. What's about supplies again? Buy. Sleep small. 4 of them. 2 devil's crowns. I want like 6 of these. And I want a whole bunch of these. Crap. Anything? I don't think so. Nope, I can't menu. I'm pressing triangle, but the game doesn't respond that quickly. There we go. Okay. Probably had a lot of excess money. Because I believe we got 1 great walnut drop and then buying different liquors, but we got the mirrors, the sleep spores. I think we have everything we need. That was a little bit rough, but in terms of the shopping section, my brain kind of melted a little bit. I think we're alright. Should be a suave here. There we go. Or we just fire and going to sleep spore once. The amount of money threw me off. Normally I'm like struggling to have the money I need rather than too much, which makes me anxious that I've forgotten something critical. But it's mugwort liquor, sparrows rough little bit, 2 Devil's mirrors, 4 sleep spores. We could have just spent the excess, I guess, on extra liquor. Never mind, we just picked up another liquor. Let's carry on. I should be able to dodge this boy. I was thinking of taking the inside corner there, but I think if I did, that would have been wrong. I should have used the sleep spores as soon as I went in. And then they would have been way further back, and that would have been better for us. still not willing to try the wrong warp. Sorry, I'm still not willing to try the wrong warp in the Dark Bead Forest yet, because we aren't consistent enough. With our runs generally. I don't want to add extra risk. Have extra risk when I don't mess it up so much. I probably should have healed Levon when I used those sleep spores. What's that? Wrong warp is there, but I'd rather do this. I'm gonna heal for this fight. I don't think you can dodge this. And that's the exchange you get for not doing the wrong warp. You must fight a Pat Manti. We hit it from behind, so we're likely to get an extra turn if we fail to escape, but we didn't anyway. All I mean is full health, and so are we. This screen. Around this way. And then up to the Tuturus fight. I do just keep saying things to just remind myself. I find it easier to not mess up when I'm telling myself what to do. Vocally. Like, I could just think it, but I'm forgetful at the best of times. So I just reinforce the route to myself by talking. Which is why I say the same things basically every run. For the most, well, not literally the same things, but I repeat what I say a lot. Because it helps me focus. So Tuturus, then we summon, and Tuturus gets to do that. Yeah, I do wonder if you can kill him. I think he might be a bit too fast to hit before he summons. Earth Boss is slow. You get, if you have Little Bird and Sparrow's Wrath, you get 2 turns against him before he summons Delphinel. So, with back to the magic thing, the magic only run, that may be what stops us doing that. Okay, we got 1 Poison Tail, which is a bit sad times for us. We get a fire attack, please. Much obliged, Tuturus. Once we get below 70 health, we have to, okay, yeah, we need to heal. Yeah, once you get below 70, you have to heal Arpatron, unless you're on like 71, 72, in which case you might want to risk it if you're very brave. Excellent probably would have been enough there, but I wanted to use special just to be safe. I didn't want to double click, then lose the run to Levant, having to take 2 hits from Tuturus. Oh, nice RNG, no poison. So we want now 3 fire attacks from Tuturus, if possible. Okay, 1. We get a double turn soon? Not yet, if we do. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. I think we have got a good Tuturus here. Excellent. I'm going to switch straight into Marrdreg, because I don't want to risk Arpatron death. You can risk it there, get an attack in with Arpatron, but then if the Fire Boss crits, Arpatron dies. boss block. You're not blocking again. It takes 3 special attacks to kill Fireboss, so if he blocks 3 times, that's a problem. As you can see that Fireboss is actually outpacing Marrdreg in terms of damage. So I'm going to switch to Levant again, and we're going to heal Marrdreg. If it was only 1 block, that would have been fine, but 2 is too many. So nice to tourists, mean Fireboss. But I'll take that. This is still faster than having to take an extra fight to get Arptron caught up. Yeah, now we can use a regular attack. I didn't really need the extra mana, what I needed was not 2 blocks. Game be nice, give us 10 die. Nice, it did. Okay, we'll heal up Levant again once we get into the Dark Dragonfly Forest. It's going to come down to my ability to wrong warp in the Dark Dragonfly Forest.
Who do you?
In combination with, well, or sorry, just the last 2 wrong warps. I can mess up both, or one or the other. I just need to be very sure when I do it. Taking a while to get the wrong warp is much, much better than missing it. So being patient pays off in that context. Patience most certainly helps. Go straight into our menu. The escapes we have to do will heal up Arptron. Just because there's 3 of them. So our minions can be nearly dead and they'd still be fully healed by the time we're done escaping. But what we need is friendly escapes. And by friendly escapes I mean the game to be friendly to us and give us escapes. One more before the wrong warps end my entire career. Right. Friendly Zulmo? Friendly. Want to be kind to us, yeah? Okay, no. Second try is better than third or fourth. The amount of time it'll take if the Zumo has to attack us, and then we try again and fail again. Okay. This is what I'm afraid of. This wrong warp here terrifies me. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. That's too far back. It wasn't. Okay, okay. Okay, you actually hit that from quite far out. I'm higher up now. Still. Okay, stop psyching yourself out. Stop psyching yourself out. Okay. One more. Dragon needs to be yellow. Dragon is yellow. That's too far out. It was. Okay, good. Good that we stopped ourselves. That is as well, then. Okay. Gotta listen to my own head. This takes a bit longer. Every time we go through this door, it switches the elements. Taking a bit of time. It's still better to do this way than to miss. That's just where I gotta keep telling myself. This has been such a good run up till now. Please tell me I hit it. Oh, please. I think I'm too far out. Oh, damn. Damn it, so close. I knew I'd messed it up at the end. I think Levant was facing the wrong angle. I think if we were slightly more left facing, then it works. I don't think it's possible to beat our PB now. PB didn't miss any wrong warps. It took a while for a few of them, but it didn't miss any of them. You get to the next screen. Oh, that sucks so much. We had a really good start, really solid start. Good tourist fight. Well, not a perfect tourist fight, but a good one. Oh, that hurts my soul. It takes so much time to just get all the way back in to try again. The time loss is too great, I think. I don't think we can overcome that. I don't trust myself on this. It was right again. I could save time by just trusting myself more on this one. Maybe trusting myself less on the next one. It feels wrong. Right, okay, it feels wrong. Levant is so far out of the door that it just doesn't feel like that's where you should be doing it, but that is where you need to do it. Yeah, I'd save a lot of time by just trusting myself on this one. I don't know. It still feels wrong. The angle seems a bit off. Okay. Whatever. Runs failed to beat PB anyway, I think. We'd need an incredibly good Delphinaut and Kashidra fight. Looks to be too far back again. It is. Definitely. Yeah. Okay. This one's over. Failed at the last hurdle. We'll still finish it. She's using the bit of downtime we had to check stream health. We don't have sleep spores anymore, so disappointing. Yeah, I think we'd be in the Delphinel fight by now. By quite a margin, I expect, because we were at the 1 hour mark when we got into the Dark Spider Forest. Started trying wrong warp, failed the wrong warp at about 1 hour 1. And each attempt cuts off 3 or 4 minutes per attempt. How much you lose? I am slightly YOLOing this now because I'm a bit salty about messing that up. But that's the breaks. Need to practice more. I know I can get this one first try because I have many times before, but that looks sort of, yeah, like, the thing that throws me off, gap is like a couple pixels, the thing that throws me off is I look at Levant go, he looks like he's there, and he isn't. It's just because he's in that part of his run cycle that makes him look like he's there. Because you want the foot to be in the doorway, that's how you know you get through. If the foot is like notably into the door. Not on the edge of it, but in it. When you start the wrong warp. So you can see that you failed it once you've tried, but it's kind of hard to see while Levant is running. Yeah, I can benefit from the practice, so I'm not going to just ditch out of the run. lest we do this again with our next run that has good luck. I do think I am actually slightly better at doing the wrong orbs as I approach them from a long way away. I think I'm worse at them when I do this backwards and forwards, but I can do them like this. I think I'm just worse at it. I don't think that's right, because yeah, because his right leg goes forward, which makes me think I'm in the right spot, but I'm not. And that's what's throwing me off, because his right leg looks like it's far enough forward, but it isn't. Oh, I was excited for a minute then. That is so early. I tried turning around to have another approach, but on analog stick, Levant always moves slightly forward in the direction he's currently going when you change directions. That's so early as well. Alright. Maybe this window is more precise than I thought. Well, I think the dragonfly one's still the trickiest. That's the one I really... Not the one to get to here, but... the one to skip to Kikinak. Oh wait, I don't know why I bothered doing that. I couldn't. I had to go back to again. That looks a bit better, but now Levant might be facing too far left. A foot forward. No. No. Facing too left. Why can't I do this wrong? I may have just psyched myself out of it. Literally, everything goes fine until the last wrong warp that I already did earlier on in the run. It's the exact same wrong warp. Oh, ends my menu there. Let down by my own skill level again. Well, I say again. Yeah, a little bit again. Spider Forest wrong warp is that difficult. I think I absolutely just psyched myself out of it. And now I'm struggling because I'm too hung up on it. We will get it eventually. Is that, or I'm just gonna run at the door, and if I miss it, we miss it, and I just start another run. Because it's a bit painful to just carry on with a run that you know you've killed, as lucky as it was with the first capture Marrdreg, good Marrdreg stats, 4 Gigo, all that stuff. Sing this one now. Might be a bit far out, but we'll take it anyway. I am kind of just done with this run. I would have ran at it and just gone for it, but the dragon was the wrong colour, so we couldn't. We couldn't do that. This one's falling apart. Too far out, but whatever at this point. It's definitely too far out. Yeah. Okay. I'm done psyching myself out of this, so I'm just gonna quit and try again. I just used my time to fix the stream since I don't know if that was visible for you guys by an entire time there. Hopefully it was, I don't know. Let's just make sure our settings are still there. Why must they always reset like this? Alright. Get going again. An unfortunate end to what was an amazing run up until that point. Gotta start again now. Hope my analog stick's still enabled, that would kind of suck. Yeah, good. Alright. Dream Man.
Rick Hess has run away, hasn't he? He's run off, you know. It's all hearsay. It seems his car was stolen by a Nagi woman, and he ran off. His son is still so young. Too young to become a Cocoon master. Run away, will you?
Can't believe we got the wrong ops I normally suck at. Perfectly fine. The one wrong op and the last wrong op one I'm normally fine at. Messed up. Repeatedly. I mean, as soon as we messed up once, it was over, but. Like, if I mess up at any of the wrong warps at all, I think it costs too much time. Might be able to get away with messing up the first Spider Forest Wrong Walk, just because it takes no time at all to get back in. That's when you can probably afford to mess up once, but you have to get it the second time. Otherwise, we just can't beat PB. Unfortunately tricky. A part of me wonders how much easier my life would be if I was playing the NTSC, because it's apparently easier. I don't know, I've never tried Wrong Walks on NTSC. But apparently it's not quite as difficult. I think you can do it from slightly further out. Whereas we can't stop before a doorway, we have to stop in the door. Oh sorry, we don't even stop. We just have to go into the menu before it starts loading the transition. Yeah, I'm going to go back to focusing on the magic attack challenge that I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Just mentally. Just check in on that instead. That idea is nicer to think about than the last one dying like that. Yeah, we'll probably try the Ash Strike. We definitely can't... I don't think you can kill Fireboss because I don't think our minions are fast enough to hit him before he summons Tadura, so I have to scrap that idea. But that means that we are going to need to have water magic attack from somewhere. We can get regular water attack from the trees in the Spider Forest. We can get it from Arpatron. Those are probably the easiest sources for Arpatron, by far the easier one. But really we need level 2 or tier 2 water magic, which we can only acquire from water swabs. The problem is that you'd need at least 3 of them to switch your Ashes element to be the right one for the swabs. So it might mean we just have to use vanilla swabs, like just capture 3 of them, level them up, use them. That may be what we need to do. Tankier than Ashes, but yeah, I'm just not sure. They don't have that much power, but I don't want to ruin the Ashes by... because we aren't going to have enough... realistically, we aren't going to capture enough Ashes to really compensate for it properly afterwards. Not if we want, 3 Ashes for the final set of fights. Oh, sorry, 2 Shulias and an Amasag. That was the plan before him, wasn't it? I can't believe we messed up that. If we'd gone that wrong walk first try, like when I ran straight at it, if we'd gone straight through, that would have been a really promising time. I think we would have been many minutes ahead of my PB, potentially. Possibly not as many as I'd like, just because we had to heal Marrdreg because of the double block by Fireboss on our Marrdreg, but it would have still been a significant time save. I do understand why a lot of people don't speedrun this game, because there are a lot of luck elements, and there's only There's only really two tricks that you have to learn how to do, which is A, dodge minion, B, wrong walk. All the right spots, and then you're basically there, aside from just, you know, forgetting your route. And then adjusting for drops to make sure you have the right money. Because we didn't need to pick up that second key because of our drops. For example. We could have possibly gone away with no keys. Right. I only picked them up because I like safety. There aren't as many tricks, technical tricks involved. But certainly on this version of the game, the wrong wall trick is hard enough.
Your father was a noble man. Coward. According to tradition, I hereby proclaim your coming of age. Your pride from this day forward. Treacherous hero.
Now we have to do the first dragonfly wrong walk again, the main run killer. It's Kikinak, and it's just the dragonfly forest generally. Marrdreg, Kikinak in the first, and the first dragonfly wrong walk. And then it's then the next run kill is right at the end of the game, really. Everything else can be salvaged to some extent. It's quite a fragile run, really. Like, it's pretty quick, but it's a very fragile run. There's a lot that can go wrong with the route. And the things that can go wrong are predominantly RNG. Like, even if you have perfect execution, dodge every fight, a critical hit at the wrong time, you getting critical hits, blocks, all those things can ruin your day. Which is definitely a frustration. But it does make me curious how low. Like, if you did like a task run with memory manipulation, so you always got critical hits where you wanted it and didn't get them when you didn't. No blocks from enemy minions, or like your minions always successfully block, or don't, whichever is faster. I don't know. I don't know if your minion taking damage is processed faster than taking a critical hit, or sorry, than a block. And if everything's optimal, I'm kind of curious about how fast that would be. For both NTSC and PAL. Another go at getting the sleep spores as well, of course, today. Today. Plans 3 runs. First run I didn't quite make it to the end, but it nearly got there. So nearly. I couldn't believe that. Gotta shake it off. Gotta not dwell on it. Gotta think of nicer things. So we don't do that again. Alright, watchtower. Resume mashing X until we see him mention the beetle key. Goes down, and beetle key. Go. And we got first run up chorus hut as well. Just gotta focus on the improvements. The more we do this, the better we get. And we will get that run eventually. Where we can finally... PB isn't even that good. It just didn't mess up wrong warps. And that's why it's hard for me to beat. They just didn't mess up wrong warps on it. If I get a run here which doesn't mess up wrong warps, like it's an easy beat my own PB. It's just I just find it that difficult to not mess any of them up. I'm actually kind of amazed I managed to do that, because that was the PB was the first run of that day, and I only did one run that day. Maybe because it was done offline, the nerves didn't get to me quite so much, as opposed to this done live. It may just be easier for me to do it when I'm not done. I'm not in the presence of an audience. But I would like to beat the PB live. Right, switch elements. We got the time dodge as well. Let's see if we can get that again. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Oh, sorry, squasp dodge, because we changed this element first. Yeah, squasp. Oh, no, we messed it up. Extra encounter. There was so much going for the last run, goddamn. So much going for it. There you go, yeah. Okay, we did dodge that one, that's good. We've recovered the mistake there. That's too early, but we're going to be forced to go to the next screen anyway. Never mind, okay. Our head touches the edge, which might not be far enough in. Okay, cool. That's marginally slower than our last run, but... a couple of seconds tops. So we'll take that still. I think that's honestly the easiest wrong warp in the game. There's a very, very obvious visual cue for whether or not you've made it. And you can see the visual cue before you attempt to do the wrong warp. Whereas I find on a lot of them I can only actually tell after. After you try, I can go, oh, that worked, or oh, that failed. Whereas that one I can see when I'm going to succeed or not. To be fair, there are visual cues for the others, but I find them less consistent to look at. Like, this one is absolutely terrible for me. I believe you can, like, count steps to do it, but I don't know how precise that would need to be for this version of the game. I think it's 9.5 is how many steps it's meant to be. Or, sorry, yeah, steps while running at it, and then wrong warp when you 9.5 or something, 9 and a bit, and then you get through. But I don't think that might not be precise enough for this version. If there are any NTSC speedrunners who know, tried it on both. Tried the setup. Pretty good, Marrdreg. I've tried the setup on both. Know what it feels like. Know what it's like. And let me know if it doesn't feel the same. If it doesn't seem to work when you do that. Taking a critical hit from Marrdreg kind of sucks. Last time was at 15 rather than 17. If it goes to 9, i.e. we do 8 damage, I think we're fine to hit it one more time. I'm willing to risk. There you go, down to 2. I think you're most likely to do 7 or 8 damage. I don't even know if you can do 9. You should probably pay attention to Marrdreg's health more closely lower on and actually see if you can do 9. Or if that's consistent, it will always be 1 or 2 health. Getting that extra attack in makes this far more consistent. Weirdly, there seems to be a very big difference in capture probability, at least when I play. Like, you know, my own paranoia, between 9 health Marrdreg and 2 health Marrdreg. Haralka? No, it's Marrdreg. That's bad. That's a dodge that we didn't have to do. Sorry, well, we didn't fail last time, so that's a bit of extra lost time. Whatever. Really, I should be good at the Spider Forest wrong wall because it's the one you have to do the most. You have to do it twice every run. Every other wrong wall you only have to do once. Okay. I guess the one you have the most practice at, by virtue of doing the run. But it is also the most stressful one, by a long shot. Bit far. That's too far back. Was. Heal Avant up. We might still be a bit too far out. This may fail. I feel like it will. It did. Gut feeling was right. I thought the first menu was a bit slow, so I inched forward, then immediately pressed the button, because you always get in the menu first that way. But I didn't think I was too far out. I was obviously further out than I thought. That tortoise might not have moved now. That's the one thing that's a bit annoying. That tortoise might not get out of the way, that we may not escape from it, and then that could mess us up. Yeah, he hasn't moved enough. But with the turtles, you could be, sorry, tortoises, you could be waiting for ages for them to move. So I think it's actually faster to just take the fight. Trying to look for visual clues on the ground, but okay. It's tricky. It's tricky to see where the line is where I need to do that. Let's not miss these sleep spores this time. Thank you. There's a time loss from missing the wrong warp once may already have been enough so that we can't beat PB now. But no point not trying. All practice is good practice. Second attack. Oh, didn't die. Love it when we don't die. Do those attacked by Cocoon have any additional properties, or are they just neutral attack? I got a neutral attack plus power, neutral attack plus accuracy. I don't know, and I'd like to know. Right, Cocoon done. So yeah, if you remember, in our last run, I don't know if, actually it may have already disconnected by then, I don't know. I don't know what point people saw when it disconnected. We got to going into the Moth Forest at minute 30. Like we were really good, but because we missed that Dragonfly Forest, we've lost a lot of time. We'll know exactly how much we've lost because we literally got in at 30 minutes. So this will give us exactly how much time we lost from that. If I had splits, I would know anyway, based on the split. But I cannot be bothered to do splits. Alright, our current nemesis is this wrong warp, apparently. Maybe? New run, get it first time. God damn. Why couldn't you do that last game? I say to myself. sorry, I suddenly needed to cough. Unbelievable. Well, it's not. It's absolutely believable, but unbelievable from the perspective of that was not hard. That was very straightforward to do. It's not a difficult wrong warp. That was such a good run. I choked so hard. Oh well. We're about to learn exactly how much time we lose. Roughly. Well, I say exactly and roughly. Doesn't make sense. It's about to give us a very strong idea about how much time we lose when we miss a wrong warp in the Dragonfly Forest. Because on last run, in 1 minute and 30 seconds, we were in the Moth Forest, or we were using the Moth Key. Yeah, so I want to say you lose about 2-3 minutes every time you miss one. So that's what I'm expecting to see here. A 2 or 3 minute time loss. Probably more 3 minutes than 2. Because we had to fight that tortoise. There was also that extra Marrdreg fight that we managed to dodge last time. Forgot that we didn't go straight into the menu. Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be 3 minutes. Difference between our last run. feels bad. Okay. We are healed up and our minions are equipped. Yeah, so almost exactly 3 minutes, in fact. Oh, I didn't pay attention to the snakes. I think they were red. Pretty sure they were red. We hope they're red. We hope they were red, I should say. Bit of sluggish menuing there. Okay, cool. I should not have rearranged. I pressed square by accident, which rearranged my inventory. Sorry. Crashed my mic for a second. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. That makes it a bit more awkward to have to press the buttons more. Well, hopefully we'll get a bit of time back in the fire boss fight, and from not having to run around the Pat Barrens in quite the same way. That's fine. We will, of course, mugwort Levant here. I think we only need to use the one though. I think 77 health is actually fine to take on the poacher. I'll be a bit sad if it isn't, but we get what we get. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can dodge that Pat Baron if you even if they're awake, by just going like a strongly to the left, sort of similar to how you dodge the Heralco in the Dragonfly Forest. I always get caught on this thing. The changing angles throws me off. Now, are we lucky twice in a row with the Marrdreg? That is the question. To be fair, if I weren't mashing through the menu, I could just look. I could look at its attack stat, but because you mash through the level up, you can't read it. You just have to look at Gigo's health bar. I can't tell. I can't tell because we critical hit the Gigo. Oh, that didn't kill? Okay, I'm done. I was so convinced that that would kill. I was going, oh, I don't need to block to get mana back against the poacher. I just use a regular attacks on Gigo. It was scary, wasn't it? Right, regular attack and then switch to Levant. If Marrdreg gets one more attack in, it will kill the poacher. One more. The health bar didn't even move. On poacher there, which is exactly where it was. There we go. Right, going after one. Good, the run continues. Great walnut. Okay, great walnut. We didn't get the extra liquor. Sadly, we just got the great walnut. Okay, if we're lucky, no Asher/Shulia respawn. That was one thing we did lose time on last time. They didn't know if it would respawn, and then it had, and I did not react in time to dodge it. You have to like go here, then like run up. Did it incorrectly a second time. Oh, please successfully run. You will die if you fail to run. Okay. Any magic attack from that action, we'd have died. And if we can get away with one wrong walk fail, we definitely can't get away with a wrong walk fail and a death. That would be a bit too much for our poor run to handle. Right, get this key for safety. Sorry, I keep being distracted a little bit because I can see my my pet snake is prowling around their vivarium, looking for food. They're not even due to be fed today. They're just getting hungry. What I do actually have to do is I need to clean it today, so I'm gonna have to convince them that I'm not food. Which is a bit tricky because they're getting pretty big now. You know, over 6 foot. So I look increasingly appetizing as time goes on. Man, it's such a long cutscene. I honestly wish I could just cut all of this out. I could get way more runs done if I just didn't have to watch the cutscenes. Or many more, I should say. Many more runs could be attempted and completed if I didn't have to watch like 16, 17 minutes of cutscene at least every run. Well, I couldn't do many more, to be honest. Like, you know, if I only do 3 every day, or every day that I'm doing runs, I should say. No, I guess it doesn't make too much of a difference. I save. Well, to be fair, I could almost squeeze in a 4th run by that token. So maybe it would. Maybe I would end up doing many more runs in the long run. I don't have to be too stressed about this one since we already failed the wrong warp. So I'm automatically not hopeful. Partially that's the reason why I prefer the doing challenge runs. It doesn't matter if I miss a wrong warp a couple times, it's no big deal, and then I can stay calm and relaxed. You aren't trying to be super speedy, you're just trying to achieve a goal. Unless the challenge is to do it within a time limit, but like do X challenge in this time limit. In which case, fair enough. But I'm more interested in theoretical challenges in terms of puzzle solving. Okay, 5 minutes of cutscene over. Go shopping. Oh, I didn't mean to go into that. Yeah, there's for some reason in this game, shops are very not responsive, is how I would describe it. Nope, This is a bit all over the place, isn't it? Okay. I think you can actually get away with only 3 of those, but I like to have an extra one for safety. Bunch of fine liquor. Bunch of metal. Look up the little bird straight away. I messed up there. Nope, I should have healed the Vaughn while I was at it, but... Well, we are going to use sleep spores as soon as we get in the forest, so... Maybe it would have been better to... Well, not maybe. It would have been better to do it in the forest. Immediately go in, sleep spore, equip with the bird, mess that up. And heal the Vaughn. Use sleep spores. Heal Levant. Marrdreg will get healed by the encounters. I'm gonna go round this swath if I can. I'm gonna fight the second one instead, because I find that one harder to dodge anyway. Oh, it's... because it's so far out now, it's actually up there. Since we use sleep spores immediately. Optron, if you could crit here, I would really appreciate that. Because that one-shots the swath if Optron crits. And that just saves. Not the swath critting, I want you to crit. It saves about 10 seconds. If Optron lands a crit on the swath. And we need to make up time anywhere we can. I do wonder if there are any wrong warp differences between the two versions, but I'd be very surprised if there was. Like if doing that wrong warp again actually did take you to the end, that would be amazing. That would be possibly your... well, no, you could still never catch up to the NTSC record, but you wouldn't be far off if you could do a wrong warp right there. Maybe at some point I should go through the game and see if I can find any wrong warp points myself. I think the game has been analysed to death though in terms of wrong warps, and I'd be... given every other wrong warp seems to be identical, I'd be very surprised / confused if for some reason that one was different. Because every other wrong warp is the same. That's a hackaroo now. Which means it's going to have a Pat-Manti with it. But we're still going to have to try and run. When it's just a Pat-Manti there, sorry, when you see a Pat-Manti on the outer map, then it's always just a Pat-Manti there. That's fine, our escapes have still been pretty decent this run. What I would absolutely love would be a Tuturus where Optron double crits. That would be an incredibly fast Tuturus. Wouldn't, like... well... I say that. It would save you a few attacks, but I don't think it would save you having to heal Optron. I think you'd still have to heal Optron. Alright, friendly Tuturus. That's not very friendly. That's not very friendly at all. Looks like we're getting a pretty similar setup to last time in terms of Tuturus hits so far. I think that's still going to do enough that we have to switch. Yeah, we do. Sorry, What is that snake doing? Seriously looking at absolutely everything for food. Not being fed for another 2 days. That's gonna make me nervous when I have to go in there later. I'm gonna get bitten. She is tap trained, so she shouldn't bite me, but... They have a very strong feeding response. So I don't know. Does that do enough that I have one more? Okay, I have one more, that's fine. That is absolutely fine. We have a lot of Arpatron attacks, but we don't have mana. I think it's still better to switch to Marrdreg. We can get some time save here if Marrdreg gets his hits in. Okay. Maybe not. He lived that? I think the answer to is our Marrdreg good is no. No, he isn't. Okay, that was risking it. I was a little bit concerned if he blocked it, but I wanted to risk the time back, getting the time back from our previous escapade.
Who do
Daft animal. So I'm caging smoke because I'm just looking over and I'm just seeing it trying to find food. I really hope she doesn't bite me later. I really hope that she doesn't bite me. Doesn't hurt that much. It just getting a snake that's coiled onto you off is a little bit tricky, particularly the larger species. I could have great walnutted there, back to full. Not like we're gonna sell it, and we have one now, so may as well have. But there's no real difference because we don't use any healing items in battle. Ah, that sucks. Oh, did a regular attack, okay. Not gonna complain about that. Yeah, 8 damage to our health doesn't really matter. Or at least I hope it doesn't really matter. I don't think, like, if you're in a spiral fight in the next forest, yeah, if you're in the spiral fight in the next forest and you fail to escape, then I don't think 8 health is how much you'd be left on after Spiral and the dragon have a go at you when you're on that final screen. If it is a Spiral. If it's a Turgrip and a Bobensa or whatever it is there, or another Turgor, I guess, is what it would be. If you fail to escape from them and they both get it, you're just dead. You just die. You have no hope of survival. You'd have to block a Turgrip, and they are very hard to block. Not like it's not physically difficult for you to do, it's just your odds aren't great. Your odds are pretty terrible. Oh, that is way too far out. Okay. Getting to the stressful bit again where I need to do these 2 wrong walks. That's fine, the angle might be a bit off. Okay, cool. First one. Let me see yellow dragon. The yellow dragon. Okay. Now we're exactly where the last run died. We're exactly there. Just don't fail it here. That's too far out. No, that was it. That was it. My poor heart. That's the thing, you miss it when you could have gotten it. And then you get impatient and then you do it wrong. God, you lose so much time every time you go back and forward. It's quite a lot of seconds that you're losing. I already know that it's getting to me. The nerves of doing this is getting to me again. No, that didn't seem right. Oh, it was. Come on, come on. I thought he was facing too far left, but he wasn't. We've lost like an extra minute or 2 just from that. Okay, yeah, that wasn't right. Okay. You can see that I'm getting right up next to it, going into the menu and backing out. And it's very hard to tell the difference between the times that it won't work and the times that it will. It is a very slim difference. But the longer it takes us to get here, the more time we're losing. Obviously. But I just want to get it right. That feels wrong again. It was. So does that. Nope, that one was right. It looked exactly the same. I'm soon gonna have to just go through it, because otherwise... I mean, I don't think I can beat PB already, to be fair, but... I think we just have to go for it. I don't think it's right. Okay. So we want a spiral fight. We want it on the next screen if we can get one. There's a spiral here, but there are also likely to be spirals over here. There we go. This seemed like the only way to... The only way to gain some of that time back is to have one fewer encounters. But I don't think it necessarily matters. Oh, come on, Dragon. Dragarin. I've been saying like Turgle the whole time when I mentioned Dragarin. I think I have. We are going to need a legendary Kashidra and Delphinel fight. I think Marrdreg is fine. Marrdreg doesn't have very much health left is my problem. I think a regular attack actually does do more damage than using a special attack there. Okay. About to find out if the RNG gods want us to finish a run today. They apparently do. Okay, I'll heal up our minions. Or Great Walnut move on because we can. No, actually not. Faster to get to the menu in that. Let's go. We have 10 minutes to beat both bosses to beat PB. And if nothing else, it'll be a testament to how sloppy the PB was. Like 3 of them in a row. I need Delphinel to give me either to just never use the stomp attack or get lucky and have the double attack on the stomp. Normally the normally the double attack is the Marrdreg's third. Okay. We're okay with this so far. It was our third turn, so we get a double attack on it. We actually need some mana to get our last special attack in. Does this Delphinel only know... Does it only know Earth Magic attack? Very bizarre. I'm a bit concerned that Earth Boss is going to hit him after this and he's going to die. That was weird. That was a weird Earth Boss. Okay, switch to Optron. We have no Marrdreg health with which to play. Just gotta beat Earth Boss to death with Optron. Double turn? No. Maybe next turn. Is it also on the third one? That'd be kind of useful to know if it is always the third one as well. It is. I don't know if that's every time, but it's nice to know at least. Right, slowly does it. Okay, we have 6 minutes from now, basically, to take down the final boss. And then if we succeed, lament the fact that we know we could have done 3 minutes better, easily, by just not messing up that wrong warp. And if we fail, lament the fact that we could have easily beaten it by not messing up that wrong warp. Bit of a lose-lose, sadly. We either beat PB and could have had a much better time, or we failed to beat PB because of something that we could have easily done to have beaten it. This cutscene's going to eat into so much of the time we have to fight Kashidra and Chosen One. I mean, as soon as we failed the wrong warp, I believed it impossible to beat the PB. Well, not impossible, difficult to. We'd need a lot of luck. Because while the PB is very shabby in a lot of places, and has some bad luck against like Tuturus, so taking an extra fight, it doesn't miss wrong warps, and wrong warps are the largest source of time loss by a significant margin. I didn't even have the right items in PB. I didn't have the right amount of money. So there is a lot that we just didn't have, which we should have. Oh, and we also lost like 2 minutes to attempts to do that wrong warp at the end. We were very slow on that. So that's another one that we have to account for. So I think 5 minutes, whatever time we get, we could have beaten by 5 minutes pretty easily. Whatever the time we get is. But I don't think a 3-minute Kashidra and Chosen One is realistic. Yeah, straight to air. Always straight to air. Actually, maybe it is possible. Maybe it is. That is just how shabby the PB is. Maybe it is possible we do this. I don't want to start to believe too soon, though. it would be funny to submit this to the leaderboards, go, yeah, I improved it. I messed up horrifically still, but it's still slightly better, so I technically should. Oh, never mind. The dream is dead, Kashidra healed. That's a bad Kashidra. Yeah, laser. Marrdreg doesn't have a lot of health left. Oh, what's... To be honest though, even though it's a bad Kashidra, it's still possible for us to beat. It's still possible. Oh my god. That's so funny. It's still possible. In fact, it's realistically possible. I think we're about to do it. We have a minute and 20 seconds to kill Chosen One. Will regular attacks do it? I think another regular attack will do it. Marrdreg's out of mana, so... Beat our own PB by a minute when we missed a wrong warp. Oh, that's painful. So, okay, I'm just gonna say it to myself, because it's true. Sub 110 is possible. Sub 110 is absolutely possible. My other runs have been pretty shabby around the edges, clearly. Sub 110 is definitely possible. That's so funny. That was so... Okay, that was such a sketchy... That was such a sketchy run. So we lost about a minute to Kashidra. We lost 3 minutes to failed wrong warp. We know that for a fact. Our poacher was a little bit... Was it poacher? No, yeah, Gigoat was a bit sketchy. And our final wrong warp was very slow. So we lost, yeah, easily. Easily you can beat 110 on this. It all does have to line up, of course, but... Oh dearie me.
When the 4 divine barriers are dispelled, the power of light and darkness shall usher in the time of gathering. Kumari and Kaya, the guardian deities of light and darkness, shall be released by the twin dragons of
So
Temple.
bad.
The chosen ones of light and darkness shall meet, and only then will the accursed ones be granted repose.
Spent the entire time going around, oh, this
Man
can't be
shall
PB.
obtain yet another fruit of knowledge.
But if anything,
But
it
until
doesn't
there
demonstrate this was a good
seems
run, it demonstrates that the PB was not hard to beat. It's not. Oh my god. I'm just reflecting upon how bad I am at this game, clearly. Oh. Just need to get good at the wrong warps. Just need to be able to just run at them and just get it first try every time. And you save so much time. Well, I'd say you couldn't beat this without hitting all the wrong ones, but you absolutely can. Absolutely you can. You do the exact same thing, but you get a better Kashidra. Done. Beaten. You get a Kashidra that doesn't heal in the water phase. So okay, I have time for one more run today. But only just enough time for one. So if we get to Dragonfly Forest and I miss the wrong walk twice or something like that, then I don't have time to start again and go again. So I have enough time for one wrong warp miss. I'm allowed. Just because that's 20 minutes or so into the run, and I don't have an hour and 30 left, as it were, or an hour and 45 rather, whatever it would be. Okay. So done that. Time to restart our emulator and go again. Reset the emulator. Analog is on. I've told it to reset. I think it's just loading to the reset. There we go. So 1:15:54 is the score to beat. A very doable score to beat. Alright. As we reset our emulator, all our settings are back to this. Alright. Last run of the day, let's see what we get. Let's hope we don't. Let's hope that we don't do that again. I need to remember that we're on analog. Oh, good. Alright. While we're doing this cutscene, I'm just going to adjust things a little bit. Just so I can see what's going on better. Here.
Ricketts has run away, has he? He's run off, you know. It's all hearsay. It seems his rocket was stolen by a Na'vi woman, and he ran off.
Yeah, I know I have the capacity to take the time way down. It's just a matter of doing it enough times that I eventually get it right. I've managed every wrong warp at least a couple times by just running straight at it and immediately getting it. but it's so hard to time. I'll have to cut that run out, edit that run into its own thing so I can upload that individually. But a part of me doesn't want to from how bad that was. Oh my god. I mean, it was still better, so I should. It was still better, so I will. Well, not should, I will. But it didn't feel good. Yeah, I realized that I couldn't see the chat properly. Since the internet's dropped a couple times on me a little bit, my dock on my OBS wasn't showing the chat properly. And I couldn't get it to show the chat properly, so I've fixed that now so I can actually see what you're saying. Go on, Levant, do the legendary block minion and waste my time. I'm glad he didn't, but it would have been kind of cool if he did. That went a lot better than our last run, which died, sadly, in the final moments. Oh, I feel bad just remembering how much better that time could have been. I don't know by how much the time would have been had I not messed up that final roll, but it would have been. It would have felt sweet. It would have felt good. So what extra encounters do we have anyway? Failed to dodge a Marrdreg. And we fought a tortoise. I think that was it as far as extra encounters. I think I was very weirded out by that Delphinel doing nothing but magic earth attack. That was very bizarre. I mean, it's nice to know that even if Delphinel does that, Marrdreg does win the 3 hours. Actually, maybe not. I wouldn't want to go to bed that much, but you get what I mean. I'd love to be able to sleep as much. But not the nightmares. Actually, you know, I retract my entire statement. It's stupid. I wouldn't want to have nightmares, wake up constantly, and we have to go to bed every 2 hours or whatever. Twice every hour. do find it funny, you always lose like a couple seconds each attack while the game thinks about how to execute what you've just told it to do. Like, it very much so looks like the game's like pausing to think about it. I'm not even holding my controller at this point, I'm just put it down. I don't need to hold the controller to mash X. I think with this run, Cocoon will officially be the game that I've played the most in terms of replaying the same game. There are many games I've played many times, but I think Cocoon is now the one I've played the most. Discounting roguelikes like Binding of Isaac because they sort of cheat by the fact that you're constantly unless you're talking like wiping the file blank, in which case, yeah, I haven't done that before. I haven't wiped my save. Get our supplies. I keep preparing to menu for the watchtower, forgetting every single time that Marbu's going to say something to us here. Oh, if that ate my input, and I would have gone to the town shop then. Yeah, I'm not sure why shop menus in particular are so slow in this game. Oh, spoke one too many times. That's another thing I'd actually be curious if that's different between NTSC and PAL. With how much I talk about the problems PAL has as a version, I ought to play NTSC, really, but I like the memory, the minion memory glitches. And I've invested now, I've learned how to wrong warp on this version. It would be pretty cool if we can go 3 for 3 for instant Beetle Forest wrong warp. We aren't going to because I said it, but it would be cool if we did. 1402 for the Arbitron capture. It'd be nice to know if with the better, more efficient mashing, I'd be able to get there in under 14. That'd be pretty cool. Nice. Can we get both? That'd be sick if we got both. Okay, that was pretty sick, but now I have to get this as well. Oh. Oh no. Oh, if we'd gotten that. Oh, it did look a little early, but oh, that would have been so sick. Okay, we can fail one more wrong warp and we're probably fine still. Okay, I'm getting good at that. This one's scary. Okay, that one's a bit harder, but I'm getting good at it. Improvements are being made, but if we fail this wrong warp again, oh, that's it. Okay, note to self, we can improve... Wait, what? That wasn't it? Well, I mean... What? I was so sure that was it. But now I look like a fool. I mean, it's Batimal again now, but I'm just gonna go past anyway. Get the practice of that dodge. Stay on this side, run here, then go like this, yeah? Okay, that's pretty consistent. Now I succeeded the Batimal dodge, but now I can't wrong warp because I'm stupid. That's actually probably it there. Oh no, it's not. I must have had a slightly different approach angle from usual. I must have. Was I running the same way? So to me, that should be it. My head's off the screen. Okay, I don't know what that was about. Well, we're already... Okay, there's probably not a point in trying to complete this run anymore. For the purposes of beating personal best, I don't think it's happening. Oh, I listened to the story creation as well, why not? Okay. But what I do want to do is attempt this Dragonfly Forest wrong warp. Just so I can feel a bit extra bad when I get it first try. Because we've been managing that Beetle Forest wrong warp first, like, immediately. 2 runs in a row. I was clearly approaching it at a slightly different angle, and that caused me to miss those 2 times, which is fair enough. That's the nature of the wrong warp. They were squasps when we wrong warped, I think. Because we moved on to the next screen one time, and they were time miles before we approached it, so it should be Marrdreg. Yeah, I think we attempt the wrong warp for Dragonfly, and then That put me out of my misery. Let's say Kiki Knight crits me. That's a pretty bad. That's a pretty big feels bad if now I do everything perfectly, and the one thing I messed up was a wrong warp that I almost always get first try, or can get pretty consistently first try. What healthy map? 16. I'll definitely live 2. Well, no, it won't definitely live 2 attacks. If we get an 8, we'll go down 2 low. Wait, I didn't. Never mind. Run's dead. I forgot to go to the shop. we can't continue anyway. I forgot. I was so hung up on the beetle forest thing that I forgot to go to the shop. That's so funny. I mean, who's keeping track anymore? It doesn't matter, the run's over. We'll still try the wrong warp. Got so thrown off by the beetle forest that I just forget how to do the run. Yeah, okay, we'll attempt the dragonfly on the forest. Oh my god. Fluently speaking over myself there. We'll attempt the wrong warp. It will probably succeed knowing my luck. And then it's game over anyway because we can't beat Kiki Knight. We're in it just to do the wrong warp. Just so that we know the run could have been good if we weren't bad. I'm not even going to bother using the chest for this. There's zero way to beat Kiki Knight here without like blocking every attack. So I'm just not going to bother. We're just going to go straight for the wrong warp. I may as well stop the timer as well while I'm at it, to be honest, but let's just see. Okay, so it's not absolute terrible. We didn't get it while running up to it. All right, let's watch this miss. I love it. I love it. Oh, that's perfection, that is. That's perfection, okay. Let's stop the timer. We can't beat Kiki Knight because we've already messed up. I just wanted to get to this point. Yeah, I don't actually have time to do a third one. So funny. That's a terrible way to end. It's a terrible way to end. Oh, that's so funny. But okay. I'm at a bit of a loss for words after that. Yeah, it's good warp practice. But then oh. Yes, it is. But it's good to know that I fail the wrong warp I'm best at, then succeed first try, the one I'm worst at. We'll get it next time. Anyway, so tomorrow is the magic only run. I've still no idea how we're going to do it. Well, I have ideas, but I don't know if they're going to work. So hopefully I come up with a plan in time which is viable. But of the challenges that I've done so far, it's probably the one I'm most nervous about in terms of, is it actually doable? Given the strength of the minions required to do it. Without, you know, massive overlevel. You can always do it if you massively overlevel. But that's so much work. So that's going to be tomorrow. Then next week is going to be can you beat the game without leveling up any minions? Can you do it without ever having a minion you use level up? Or more specifically, when they level up, you have to get rid of them and aren't allowed to use them anymore. So hopefully that magic run will be good. And by good, I mean I hope I don't get all the way to the end and realise you can't do it. Because that would be very painful. But that is the nature of the challenge. Since you're here, quick opinion I want. Do you think I should be allowed to use seal items or not? Seal items are what we use to defeat Kikinak. They are magic, but it's not a minion's magic. Should that be permitted? Because honestly, I don't know either way. It is magic, but it's not my minions, so if I'm using only magical minions... Well, or rather, only magic attacks. It is a magic attack. Obviously, we still have to allow Levant's regular attack. It does make the run a lot shorter in terms of bosses we have to kill. Because we no longer have to... We no longer have to kill... Kikinak using minions. The seals, so when we fight Kikinak, you know, we use 2 Agni Seals. Sorry, 2 Agni Seals 1s and 2 Agni Seals 2. And that's, it casts Agnes the spell. But it's Levant doing it. It's how we avoid using minions all the way up till after Kikinak. It's fair enough. It's just in my other challenge runs I've banned the use of seals. It made perfect sense for no elemental attacks. In many ways he's my minion. I suppose so. I suppose so. I will of course still be allowing Levant's regular attack. If I went magic only, I'd be stuck almost instantly because I'd have to defend repeatedly during the minion fight and the Patimon and just wait till I die. I'd have to die to the Patimon. And that's just not fun. So I think I should be allowed regular attack. But no regular attacks from minions, only defend and magic. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. We'll go with that then. So yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. It'll probably be around the same time we started today. I'll probably schedule the stream. Yeah, so thanks for watching today, despite the absolute disaster that was that final run. We did get our PB down by a minute. Or a bit under a minute, just. But there's definitely loads of room still for improvement. So, keeps going into the screen, so I'm not pressing anything. Okay, so yeah. Thanks for watching today. I will see you tomorrow with that magic run. And hopefully, everything will all go fine.